right? You have the leftmost fighting position. Yep, identified it. Okay, cool. All right. So you'll know what you're fighting before you start the task. Yep. Method of engagement. HE. The only type you're going to request is HE. And then target direction. So that's that mill reading you got at the start of the task. Once your fire mission is over, okay, grader will come and evaluate, check your map and check your notes, make sure everything's correct. You're good to go to move into the actual adjusting the fires portion. We'll have someone out there, we're going to call them a walker, and they're going to stand within a circle that's going to be out there, and they're going to be the round. So when it's time to start firing those rounds, grader's going to say shot over.
Shot out.
That's your response. We'll say splash over. Once this person out here kind of stands there and puts their arm up, once you see their arm up,
splash out.
That's when you call splash out. I mean, that is to represent rounds having hit the ground. Once splash out happens, okay, you have 45 seconds to make your next adjustment. The way adjustment works is, oh, I didn't cover it. OT factor.
Oh, yeah, I didn't do it.
Okay.
So that's okay then, because the OT doesn't come in here.
Yeah. So we'll cover it coming up. They're gonna stand out there. What you're gonna do is then you're gonna pull your binos up, and you are going to what's called split the body. So you're gonna put the center of the crosshair in the center of that person, and you're going to measure the distance from the center of that person to the center of the target. You're gonna get that mil reading. So let's say it's 15 mils. Okay. For fire missions, you have what's called an OT factor. What that is it's based on the distance that you got from you to target. It is essentially a multiplier for adjustments relating to mils, right? So the way that works is up to 1,000, whatever the distance is, the OT would be point whatever based on the 100-meter increment. Like 600 meters would be a 0.6, 700 would be a 0.7, so on and so forth. From 1,000 to 1,400 meters would be an OT of 1. So it would be a one for one adjustment. So if it's 15 mils, it's 15 mils. From 1,500 to 2,400 meters, it's an OT of 2. Because from 5 to 9 you round up, and from 4 to 1 you round down. So you're gonna round that to 2 for 2,000 meters. So if I got a mil reading of 15 mils, what's my OT if my target was 2,500 meters? Okay, we're gonna round down to these are round down for the nearest even number, right?
Yes.
Yep. So for this, you're gonna for OTs for distance, you round down to the nearest even number. So from 2,100 meters all the way up to like 3,000 meters, right? You'd round down to 2. Okay. So 2,500 meters, OT at 2. If I got mil reading at 15, what is my adjustment going to be when I have to give a left or right adjustment? What's 2 times 30 or 2 times 15? It's 30, right? So I measure 15, times that by 2, and I'm going to give that's my left or right adjustment. If the round is in front of the target, I need to bring it closer, essentially moving the round. Think of it as moving the round back, right? It's going to be add. So he's going to go into bracketing. The way bracketing works is you're going to take a set distance, you're going to start at 400. Okay? So it'll be like right 30, add 400. Grader's going to hear that. He's going to, make sure you use the correct verbiage and stuff, right? Not up, not down, because that's like elevation. So make sure it's add and drop. Farther, closer, left and right.
You want to run through that real quick just to show them what it actually looks like?
Yeah.
Alright, so say we go out there, the fucking dude that's standing out there, he hits one of these, now you know your target's landed. Or, my bad, you know that your round is impacted. So what you're gonna do you're gonna pick up your binos. Just like Sergeant Gottschall said, you're gonna split the targets. Let's say.
I'll stand out there.
Okay.
Okay, Roger.
So
That should be,
So-
on, I think, what,
It's
16, 10 mil?
it's still on 2. It's 20.
Have them give them the binos so they know what it actually looks like.
Okay, Roger.
Confused about it.
So I'm gonna pass a set of binos around. When we call it split the target, I want everybody to try and do it really quick before we start moving around a lot. Okay. So if you're looking through it, if you're having problems looking through both sides and trying to focus on the reticle, you can just bring it to one side and use the left part of the binocular.
I just close my right eye whenever I'm looking through it. I do that all the time.
I just bring it to one side and hold it like a periscope.
That also works. All right, so I don't know if you guys can see it or not. There's a metal pole out there beside that black box. It's on the left. So for right now, we're gonna say that that's where the round impacted, right? So what you're gonna do, pull up your binos. I like to put the reticle on the center of the target and then measure to the left or right from there, but it literally doesn't matter. You can do it either way. If you put the reticle on the target or on where your round's impacted, you get the same thing. So I'm gonna put it on there. All right, I'm splitting the target. That pole is on my 2 line. That means it's 20 mils. So you're gonna go over here with your OT factor of 2. 20 times 2 is 40. So you're gonna say 40 right, and then we'll just say he was standing behind the box, drop 400. And after that,
Once it makes that adjustment,
Yep.
grader's gonna go shot over,
shot out,
splash over,
splash out.
Walker will move, he'll stand there, put his arm up, okay? Once the arm's up, that's your cue to start getting ready for that next adjustment. And they're gonna move incrementally closer each time to get you into that to do all the bracketing, okay? Regardless of how close you can identify them to being to the target, always bracket, no matter what, okay? So now he's standing to the right. Let's say it's 5 mils, but he's in front, but now he's behind the target still. All right? So you're going to that second one. That's where the bracketing comes in. So you're going to give
Left 10, drop. You say he's behind the target still?
Yeah.
Okay. Drop 200.
Okay. So if you notice with bracketing, when it comes to add and drop, all you're doing is taking the last distance, cutting it in half. Okay. So now he's directly in front, no left or right change.
Okay, directly in front. It would be, I did left, yeah. Okay, so left 10, and then add 100.
He's directly in front. He's in front.
Oh, okay. My bad then. Add 100.
So just add 100, right? 100, he'll stop. Shot, shot over, shot out, splash over, splash out. Arm goes up. Your next one to terminate to move into the fire one is add or drop 50, left or right, whatever, fire for effect. Okay. Once you get to that 50-meter distance, your next part of the after your bracket's complete, immediately fire for effect. Fire for effect. Shot over,
Shot out.
splash over,
Splash out.
and then the grader's going to announce, all right, rounds on target, rounds complete.
BDA as follows: 1 target in the open destroyed. Probably say, what is it, building? We're doing building or
Fighting position.
Okay, 1 fighting position in the open destroyed. Estimated casualties 5.
That's it. Once you give, once you do the casualty assessment or damage assessment for the BDA, that's the end of the task. Okay. Make sure you do the BDA appropriately. I'll tell you it's a fighting position. Make sure you call the fighting. Make sure you're for the BDA you say fighting position. If we give you a building, you say building. For number of casualties, kind of guesstimate what an average fighting position or building may have in it. Like fighting position, typically about 5
Just give
people.
a BDA.
Yeah.
That up.
Just give us something, as long as it's accurate. All right. Like as long as it's past accurate. All right. Questions?
Can you go over the math again?
For which one? The
Then
no
this is how to
relation?
get your range.
So the width of the target is going to be given to you. It's going to be written on the paper.
Yep.
So all you're going to do is the width of the target,
In meters.
yeah, in meters, divided by whatever you mill it at. So I milled that at 10. So it's going to be, we'll say my width was what, 25? So
Yep.
we'll say 25, divide that by 10, times 1,000. Always times 1,000.
So it's going to be the size of the target that's given
Yep.
on a sheet of paper plus
Yep.
what divided by what you measured it at.
Yep.
It was 10 times 1,000.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's your range.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So you get 10 divided by 25 divided by 10 gives you 2.5. Times that by 1,000,
2,500 meters.
2,500 meters.
What's your distance?
Right? And now it's between 1,500. Now you're going to take that, you're going to round to the nearest even number. Nearest even number is 2,000. You're going to take that very first digit. There's your OT, it's 2.
The way I do it, like instead of even doing the math, like there's like 2,500. I just view 2,500 as
That's
doesn't,
what?
doesn't matter what number it is. Just imagine there being a decimal, and don't do math and just put a point, and it's 2.5. It's the same thing. If it's 1,000 meters, it's just 1. You really don't need to do any math. You just need to imagine there's a decimal. Whatever number you get, you just bring it over 2.5, 3.5, and so on. Keep in mind, come test day, you guys won't get a 2.5 just because the rounding rule, it should be 3, but in the FLS world, you round to the nearest even. So we're not going to confuse you. Honestly, it's probably going to be an even number, 2,000, 3,000 meters. Which if it's 3,000 meters, it's 3. Like I'm going to keep it